My fiancée refused to pay any bills because her money is hers and my money is ours. I said, okay. Then I moved out while she was at work taking every single item I bought, including the light bulbs and the toilet paper. She came home to a dark, empty shell. I am 32, male. I need to get this off my chest because I am still processing what went down last week. My fiancé, 29, and I had been together for 2.5 years. Got engaged 6 months ago. The relationship seemed solid until we moved in together 4 months back into a 2-bedroom apartment. Here is the thing. I make about $78,000 as an IT consultant. She makes around $65,000 doing marketing for a skincare company. Not a huge gap, right? Both of us are doing okay financially. We are not struggling, or at least we shouldn't be. When we decided to move in together, I assumed we would split things fairly. Not necessarily 50-50, but proportionally. Maybe 60-40. Or at least have a system that worked for both of us. That is not what happened. The first month I paid the $1,850 rent. She said she was tight because of moving expenses. Fine, I get it. Moving is expensive. I also paid the $200 setup fees for gas and electric, $150 for internet installation. And I dropped about $2,100 at IKEA for a couch, coffee table, and dining set because her old furniture was literally falling apart. I didn't mind. I wanted us to have a nice start. Second month rolls around. I bring up splitting the bills. We were sitting at the dinner table, which I bought, eating food, which I paid for. Babe, can we talk about how we are going to handle expenses going forward? She looked up from her phone. What do you mean? Like rent is due next week. How do you want to split it? She put her phone down and I swear her whole face changed. It wasn't confusion, it was offense. She got this look like I just asked her to donate a kidney. Split it, you make more than me. Not by that much, like maybe 15% more. Still more, plus you are the man. Men are supposed to provide. I actually laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't, her expression was stone cold. I am serious, she continued. My money is for me, my savings, my goals, my future. Your money is for us. That is how relationships work. That is not how any of this works. We are partners. Exactly, and partners support each other. I supported you emotionally through your project deadline last month. I blinked. You mean when you watched Netflix while I worked late? We went back and forth for an hour. Every time I tried to explain basic fairness, she hit me with guilt. Are you saying you won't take care of me? My dad always paid for everything. If you loved me, money wouldn't matter. This is financial abuse. That last one really got me. Financial abuse. She used a term meant for victims of controlling partners to describe me asking her to contribute to the household she lived in. It silenced me. I was terrified of being that guy. So I ended up paying rent again, and utilities, and groceries. And when her car needed new tires, $640, guess who paid? Me. Meanwhile, her paychecks were going straight into her savings account. She would show me her growing balance on her phone app like it was a shared accomplishment. Look, babe, I am up to $34,000 in savings. We are doing so well. Yeah, because I was funding her entire life. My savings account went from $28,000 to $11,000 in 3 months. I was eating ramen for lunch while she was getting DoorDash delivered to her office daily. I was drowning while she was building a raft with my wood. The breaking point came 2 weeks ago. Her best friend was getting married and my fiancé wanted to buy a $400 dress. That is a lot for one dress. Especially when I haven't bought new clothes in a year. I said, it is my money. I can spend it how I want, but I have been paying all our bills for 3 months. Maybe we should budget. So, she snapped. That is your job as my future husband. My money is mine to do what I want with. There it was, crystal clear. Her money was hers. My money was ours. She didn't see me as a partner. She saw me as a resource, an ATM with a heartbeat. I went quiet, really quiet. That scary kind of quiet where your brain just clicks into a different mode. The love evaporated and was replaced by calculation. You are right, I said. She looked surprised. Really? Yeah. Your money is yours. You should absolutely spend it how you want. She smiled and kissed my cheek. Thank you, baby. I knew you would understand. I understood perfectly. I understood that I was being scammed. That night after she fell asleep, I went into my home office and started making a list. Not an angry revenge list, just a practical inventory. What did I pay for? What was legally mine? The answer was basically everything. The apartment lease, my name only, she never got added because her credit score was having issues when we applied. The furniture, all on my credit card. The TV, mine. The Wi-Fi router, bought by me 2 years ago. Kitchen appliances. I had replaced her crusty old microwave and toaster oven. Even the stupid stuff. The shower curtain. The bath mat. The good toilet paper instead of that single-ply nonsense. The LED bulbs I had installed throughout the apartment because they save money. My money, apparently. I took 3 days to plan. I called my buddy Mike, who has a pickup truck. I gave notice to my landlord. It turns out since she wasn't on the lease and wasn't paying rent, she was a tenant at will. I could end the lease with 30 days notice. I found a studio apartment across town. It was small. It was in an older building, but it was available immediately, and it was mine. She worked Tuesday through Saturday 9 to 6. She always stayed late on Thursdays for team meetings, which I was pretty sure were just happy hours with her coworkers. I took Thursday off work. I told her I had a dentist appointment. 8:45 a.m. she left for work, kissing me goodbye and reminding me we needed more almond milk. I will take care of it, I said. 9 a.m. Mike pulled up. We started moving. It was surgical. We didn't just take the big stuff. We took the life out of the apartment. The couch I bought, out. The coffee table, out. Dining table and chairs, out. Bedroom furniture, out. TV and entertainment center, out. Microwave, toaster oven, blender, out. Every single item I purchased. I had the receipts organized in a folder on my phone. Here is where I might have gotten petty, or maybe just thorough. I took the light bulbs, every single LED bulb I had installed. I left the old incandescent ones in a box in a closet. She could reinstall them if she wanted, or she could sit in the dark. I took the shower curtain. I left the old moldy one she had brought with her in the cabinet. I took the Wi-Fi router. The internet died instantly. I took the good toilet paper. I left 1 roll of the cheap single-ply stuff I found under the sink. By 4 p.m. we were done. The apartment wasn't completely empty. Her old ratty loveseat was still there. Her clothes, her decorative pillows, but everything functional, gone. It echoed when you walked. I left my key on the kitchen counter, which I was also taking technically since I bought the portable island, but I left the built-in counters alone. I left a note. I handwrote it so she would know I took the time. You were right. Your money is yours to do what you want with. My money is mine. This means my purchases are mine too. Good luck with the lease. You have 30 days to figure it out or add yourself to it. The landlord has my forwarding address. Do not contact me. I blocked her number, blocked her on everything. Then I waited. Update 1. The darkness. She got home around 6:45 p.m. according to my old neighbor. We are cool and he knew what was happening. She tried her key and the apartment was dark. She thought the power was out. She went inside using her phone flashlight. My neighbor said he heard a scream that could have shattered glass. It wasn't a scream of fear. It was a scream of rage. The texts started coming through on my iPad before I remembered to block her there too. Where is everything? Are you insane? This is theft. I am calling the police. Then came the email from her mom. Of course. I cannot believe you would abandon my daughter like this. She is hysterical. You left her in an empty apartment with no furniture, no lights, no way to even cook food. This is cruel and borderline illegal. You need to return immediately and work this out like an adult. I didn't respond. I just took a screenshot. Friday morning, my phone rang from an unknown number. I answered. You piece of garbage. You stole everything. It was my fiancé. I didn't steal anything. I took what I paid for. That was our stuff for our home. Funny, I said calmly, because your money was yours and mine was ours. That arrangement worked for your wallet but not for my furniture. The couch doesn't belong to us if us didn't pay for it. You cannot just leave me with nothing. You have everything you paid for, your clothes, your stuff, your savings account with $34,000 in it. Use some of that to buy a couch. That money is for my future. Cool. My furniture was for my present. Seems fair. She started crying. The ugly kind. The kind that used to work on me. We are engaged. Check your email. I sent the breakup email at midnight. Formal, clean, CC'd to myself. Her mom grabbed the phone from her. Young man, you will return my daughter is property immediately, or we will pursue legal action. Ma'am, with respect, I have receipts for every item I took. Your daughter contributed $0 to any of those purchases. She is not on the lease. Legally, I am completely in the clear. She was a guest. She is a woman living alone. You left her without basic necessities. She has a $65,000 salary and $34,000 in savings. She can buy necessities. She can buy a light bulb. That savings is for her future husband. I actually laughed. That was going to be me, until I realized I was funding her savings account. Have a good day. I hung up and blocked that number 2. Update 2. The lawsuit. The weekend was quiet, too quiet. I spent it unpacking in my new studio. It was small, but it felt huge because I wasn't carrying the weight of another adult human on my back. Monday morning, I got a call from my old landlord. Hey, so your ex is here demanding to be let into the apartment office. Says you stole her property. Want to tell me what is going on? I explained everything. The receipts, the notice, the financial dynamic. Yeah, she is not on the lease, so legally she has got nothing, he said. But she is making a scene in my office. Her dad is here too, threatening to sue for abandonment. Is she trying to take over the lease? She cannot afford it. I already ran her credit when you two applied. It is not good. She is asking if there is a cheaper unit available. I have got a studio for $1,100, but she says that is too small. That is a problem now. Wednesday brought the really fun stuff. I got served at work. Actually served. A process server walked into my office. My ex was suing me for $8,500 in stolen property, $2,800 in emotional distress, $1,850 for unlawful eviction. I sat at my desk reading this absolute nonsense. The stolen property list included couch $1,200. I paid $2,100. TV $800. I paid $1,200. She was undervaluing the items I bought to make the theft claim seem more plausible in small claims court. I called a lawyer. Cost me $250 for a consultation, but it was worth every penny. Do you have receipts? He asked. Every single one, organized by date in a PDF. Is she on the lease? Nope. Did you give the landlord proper notice? 30 days as required. I have the email confirmation. He smiled. This is going to be fun. She has no case. The tenant rights thing is tricky, but since the lease is in your name only, she was essentially a guest or a tenant at will. The property claims are dead on arrival if you have receipts. He drafted a response that basically said, bring it. We listed every receipt, every payment, every bill I covered. Included screenshots of my bank account showing the withdrawals. Added her own text messages to me bragging about her savings account balance. The kicker. He filed a counterclaim for the $6,800 I had spent on shared expenses over 3 months since she claimed we had a domestic partnership in her filing. If you are claiming domestic partnership, my lawyer said, then you are liable for half the household bills. My lawyer sent everything over on Friday. Final update. The victory. Her lawyer dropped the case exactly 6 days later. Apparently, when faced with actual receipts, bank statements, and a counterclaim, my ex's story fell apart. Her lawyer probably told her she was going to lose and end up owing me money. Her best friend unblocked me just to send a text. You are really going to make her pay you $3,400? I replied, If she drops her lawsuit completely and signs a document saying she has no claim to any property, I will drop the counterclaim. 3 hours later, her lawyer sent the dismissal paperwork. Both sides drop everything with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. No admission of wrongdoing. No contact order. I signed it. Finally done. Here is what I found out through mutual friends who stayed neutral. She had been telling everyone I was financially abusive for months, claiming I controlled all the money. Meanwhile, she was showing up to brunch with $200 handbags I couldn't afford. Her mom had been the one pushing the man should pay for everything mentality. Her dad supposedly paid for everything throughout their marriage and was miserable. He never had a say. That is what she wanted. She wanted to replicate her parent is dynamic, but with a modern feminist twist where her money was hers. After I left, she tried staying with her parents. That lasted 2 weeks. Her dad, who apparently had enough, sat her down and told her she needed to pay rent if she was living there. $600 a month. She threw a fit about how family shouldn't charge family. She ended up renting a room in a house with 3 other girls. Last I heard, she is fighting with them about the utility bills. Shocker. As for me, the studio is actually pretty nice. Cozy. Everything in it is mine, paid for by me, no strings attached. My savings account is recovering. I put away $2,200 this month alone. I started seeing a therapist because apparently letting someone use you as an ATM for 3 months does some damage to your self-worth. We are working through why I tolerated it. The therapist thinks I was conditioned by my mom is guilt trips as a kid. Being told you are selfish for setting boundaries is a theme in my life. I went on a date last weekend. Nothing serious, just coffee. When the bill came, she pulled out her card. I got this, she said. No, I can get it, I said out of habit. Let us split it, she smiled. Fair is fair. I almost cried at the basic decency. My ex texted me last Tuesday from yet another new number. I hope you are happy. You ruined my life over money. I replied, I am very happy actually. And you ruined your own life by thinking someone else should fund it. Then I blocked that number and changed mine entirely. It cost $35 to wipe the slate clean. Every morning when I make coffee in my quiet apartment, surrounded by my stuff that I paid for, drinking from a mug that nobody else claims ownership of, I feel pretty damn good. She wanted me to provide while she saved. Instead, I provided a valuable lesson. You cannot build a future with someone who only sees you as a wallet. And honestly, that empty apartment she came home to, that was just the physical representation of what she had been doing to me emotionally for months. She hollowed out my savings, my trust, and my sense of partnership. I just made it visible. If you think I handled this right, hit the subscribe button. We talk about financial boundaries and self-respect here on Story Sparks. Thanks for watching.